Alrighty. I think we're good. Let's see. Okay. Hi, everybody. Just trying to make sure I'm good to go here. Oh my goodness. I hope you are doing well. Make sure you say hello in the comment section. Waiting for some folks to pop on Friday Live here on the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. We do this every week at 2 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. Hello, hello. For those of you who are just joining me, let me know how the volume is. Can you hear me? Does it sound okay? Let me know. Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Hello. Please let me know that the sound is okay. I'm so glad you guys are here. Hello. Got some more people popping on. Make sure you say hello in the comment section. Hey, from Missouri. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Everyone's popping on here. Hey, Sarah. Sounds good. Thank you so much, Jessica. I appreciate that. Excuse me. We made it. Another Friday, right? Another Friday in this crazy times we live in. Awesome. Sounds great. Good, good, good. Yay. You can actually see my face this week, so that's good. We got that. I don't know what was going on with our connection last week, but I think we're back on track. Hello. So glad to see everybody. We've got, let's see, the comments are starting to pour in. We got Maureen. Why are my comments running so? Julie and Barbara and Deborah and Kashani and Becca and Carrie and hello if I didn't see your name. So my comments are sticking. Felicia, what's going on? Hello, hello. How are you guys doing on this Friday? Tell me, what are your weekend plans? What are your scrappy, creative plans for the weekend? Go ahead and post that in the comments section. Lots of cool things coming down the pike for Victoria Marie Designs. I do want to give you guys like kind of a heads up of what's coming down so you'll be aware. I have 2 screens live this week. Yes, we got whatever it is that happened last week. I don't know. But we are back with 2 screens, which is good. So you get to see my face and not just my hands. So tell me, what are you up to this weekend? What are you making? What are you doing? I'm going to do a 12 by 12 layout using 2 4 by 6 photos. I get that request a lot to use 2 full-size photos on a layout. Let's see, hope to finish or almost finish your pandemic album. Fantastic, Kelly. Hey, how's it going? Carrie says, photo organization this weekend. Ugh, I need to get on that. I'm so behind. Hey, Ray, what's going on? Felicia says, doing some much needed scrapping. Absolutely. Hey, Claire, what's going on, girl? Just got the 4th of July kit from Hip Kit. Oh, me too. So I'll be playing with that. I have mine actually sitting right by my desk. I am so excited to play with this kit. I get the scrapbook kit and the scrapbook kit add-on. So I'm really excited to play with this. And I'm going to do an unboxing. I'm actually filming 2 unboxings this weekend. Let's see. Liz is hoping to finish a cruise album from 2017. That sounds fantastic. Let's see, 6 by 6 challenges. Oh, fun. Going to try and squeeze in a layout or 2 between making another batch of masks. Awesome, awesome. It's very nice. All those of you who make masks, I can't sew to save my life, and I would love to make masks. It would be jacked up. Hiding in your craft room, says Caroline, or hiding in her craft room tonight and tomorrow. Hubby is watching The Little, so you have a glass of wine and a smile on your face. Amen to that. Not mad at you, Caroline. That's the way to be. Hey, Helen, what's going on? It's actually 2 p.m. in the afternoon, Central Standard Time here in the U.S., and I know some of you, it's evening time for you, so good evening to you. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be, as Inky Quill says on her lives in her beautiful accent. Making thank you cards using new Spellbinder's Glimmer Foil. You know, Kashani, I really want to try that. Like, I need another tool in my life, but I think I might want to dig into that. Hey, Lisa, what's going on? Helen says she's working this weekend. Ah, pooey. Teresa's doing a mini album. Helen, I hope you have some time to get creative this weekend. Let's see. Lisa's creating a paper sculpture of the painting of the kiss. Very cool. Let's see. Jennifer's scrapping some summer vacay photos. Awesome. Felicia's kit comes in today. You'll love it. Felicia, I think you're talking about the hip kit, correct? Scrapping and card making, says Barb. That's awesome. We have another Carmen. Hello, hello. We got 2 Carmens in the group. Let's see. Melissa. Hey, everyone. Geraldine. Hello. Oh, Claire, you got to reintroduce yourself to your craft room. Absolutely. Melissa's doing journaling while she watches today. Fantastic. Let's see. Looking forward to the virtual crop. Me too. It's going to be so much fun. I'm going to talk about that right now. The dates are going to be August 1st through 2nd. Let's see. Finishing pages for my virtual retreat last weekend. Awesome. So it sounds like you guys have a lot of fun things going on this week. As we're waiting for some more people to come on, there are a couple announcements that I want to make. So I had to reset dates for the virtual retreat. It was going to be next weekend, and then I have a conflict that weekend. So the virtual retreat, the Victoria Marie virtual retreat, online retreat, is going to be August 1st through 2nd. There will be full details and a link to register for the, virtual crop. Victoria Marie virtual crop will be held August 1st through 2nd. That's a Saturday and a Sunday. It's a 2-day event. I am going to do a happy hour on Friday. It would probably be evening happy hour for some of us, depending on your time zone. But I'm going to do a little something on the Friday before to kind of kick us off. All the full details for this event are going to be on the Victoria Marie blog. So if you haven't subscribed to my blog, make sure you do. The links are in the description. Also, if you haven't subscribed to the Victoria Marie eNewsletter, I did put more information in the newsletter for those subscribers. Make sure that you subscribe, because that's the best way to get news and updates about this. So starting next Tuesday, there's going to be full details, plus the schedule, plus a link to register for 2 days. It includes access to the crop challenges, and I think I have about 8 challenges spread out over the weekend. There is going to be access to a private Facebook group, and that's where the virtual crop will be hosted, is through this private Facebook group. There's also going to be 2 Facebook Live events, and there's going to be 1 Zoom event as well. And of course, there's prizes and challenges, and there's going to be some bonus challenges and all those types of things that are going to happen throughout the weekend. You will have limited time access to the Facebook group. So those of you who register will get access to the Facebook group at least 24 hours before the actual event starts. You'll receive the link via email. And then once you're in the group, you'll have access to the group until September 1st. And then I'm going to deactivate the group. So you'll have it long enough to participate in the retreat, the crop, and to finish your challenges. So you don't actually have to finish the challenges that weekend, and you don't have to participate in the challenges that weekend. Like if you're going to be gone, you have to work or whatever. The challenges will be posted based on the time, based on the schedule, starting at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And the lives are also going to be scheduled as well. So all of those details are going to be on the Victoria Marie blog. So don't worry about committing it to memory right now. It'll all be posted, trust me. So anyway, so you can pop in and out, and you can play with the challenges either as they're posted or throughout the day. And of course, I will be in the group all weekend long, chatting, posting polls and that type of thing, some bonus challenges, chatting with everybody, the whole 9. And your challenge submissions aren't due until August 21st. So you'll have about 3 weeks to finish your challenges and then submit them to be eligible to win prizes. And in light of COVID, I'm doing all e-gift cards. It's easier for me to purchase and get them out to you. So all of that for that weekend is $8. That's it, $8. And that cost goes to offset any operational costs that I have with running this online virtual crop. Now, this is the first time I've ever done a virtual crop, so I'm going to be present in the group a lot. And then, of course, once the crop is over, you'll have a few weeks to continue to post your challenges and all that stuff and talk to people that are in the group, and then the group will be deactivated. So I will do that every time that I host a crop. There's going to be a fall crop coming up, either probably September. We're gonna, with the theme of getting geared up and excited about the holiday in the midst of everything that's going on. I think it would just be really fun to kind of get in that mindset. So whether it's, you know, talking about, I'm hoping to partner with and get some sponsors for that particular virtual retreat, but I'm not quite sure yet. So I'll come back to that. But it's going to be sort of a fall themed type of event with, again, challenges, prizes, that type of thing. And I'll open up another Facebook group specifically for that. So, but at least this one now is going to be August 1st through 2nd. Challenges start at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Full details will be on the Victoria Marie blog. The link is in the description of this video. Subscribe to the newsletter. That link is also available to you in the description. And then look for full details and a registration link on the Victoria Marie blog. So I'm very excited. You will have until Wednesday, the following Wednesday to register. And I'm going to cut off registration. So that way I can make sure that everybody who is registered gets the link and can be in the group. I won't be able to accept you into the group after that Wednesday. So you want to make sure that you register by or on the deadline so that I can get you into the private group. Alrighty? Does that sound good? Thumbs up if you like that. I've never hosted, I've participated in, but I've never hosted a virtual retreat. All my retreats have been in person. So, I mean, not retreat, but crop, I should say. But this is going to be a lot of fun, I think. So you'll have full details. You'll be able to get ready in advance, the whole nine. You'll have all of the challenge details, everything. So next Tuesday is when that information is going to be coming out. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys can join us. It's going to be a ton of fun. Alrighty, so Friday, like we do every Friday, we're going to make some stuff. We're going to chat. We're going to have some fun. If you have any questions about the virtual crop, let me know, and I'll try to answer those as best as I can. Again, all full details will be out next Tuesday, and you'll be able to register for the event. Alrighty, so let's get started. I'm going to make some things. So a few weeks ago, if you're just joining us on the Victoria Marie Facebook, or not, well, if you join the Facebook group, then you know several weeks ago, I did I kind of started this ongoing series called From Paper Pad to Kit. And what we did was we took an entire paper pad. I challenged everyone to take an entire paper pad, whether it is 12 by 12, 6 by 6, 6 by 8, whatever you have, just take one and completely dismantle it. Take it apart and sort the papers based on style and color and all those things, and to create kits out of those papers using items from your stash. So from the paper pad that I used for this is called Memorandum by Pink Paisley. And as you can see, all the pages are out of here. And what I've discovered is that I don't have as many paper pads as I used to. I used to have stacks and stacks of paper pads. I only have a small stack now. But what I discovered is that I would only use 1 or 2 papers out of the paper pad, and then I would forget about the paper pad because I would just put it away and I would totally forget it. And so I said, you know what, wouldn't it be great if we challenged ourselves to take a paper pad, totally deconstruct it, take it all apart, literally take the covers off and really dig into those papers and coordinate them in a way that you can create kits. Now, what kind of kits do we create? You can create page kit, so maybe there's enough supplies to make 1 page, or maybe you create a kit where there's enough supplies to create 2 or 3 pages, or maybe you create a kit where you can get multiple projects out of the kit. But the idea is that you take your paper pad and you get some utility out of your paper pad so you don't have tons of paper pads laying around your crafty stash, right? I think it's good to have a little bit of surplus, but we've spent so much money on our scrapbooking supplies, we should use them, right? So that's what we're doing with this particular series. Now, I have gotten a request to do this again with another paper pad, so I have that on my list to do on another live, and I think I'm going to record it as a YouTube video as well. So there we go. Paper pad to kit. So I used this paper pad, and I created about 5 kits, I believe, and I'm still working through them, which is great. Here is one of the kits. Let's look at all the materials here. what I did was I pulled the papers out, and what I wanted to do was coordinate the papers based on the style. Now, when you use a paper kit, it's all going to coordinate, but there's some papers that work well together than others. Once we pulled all the papers out, then you can go through your stash, because here's the other part of this. You go through your stash and you pick out coordinating items. So not only are you using your paper pad, but you're using your stash, right? It's a win-win. And I know that's very popular with us scrapbookers. We want to use our materials. So let me show you what I have here. I pulled a lot of things. Now, I'm not sure if I'll use all these materials, but I like choices. So I like to pull a little bit more than what I think I'm going to use. So I've already used this on another layout, but this particular clustering of materials, what I did was I started out with one of the pieces of paper from the paper pad, and I just coordinated other papers to go with it. So I have this orange polka dot situation, the little stripes, strips of what looks to be kind of like pattern paper strips here that are adhered to a background, but it's really just this solid, or this one piece of pattern paper. Notice I've already cut into it. Here's some geometric, and then this big one that has the text, which could be cut up and used for whatever, embellishing. Had another 12 by 12 piece that I went ahead and cut into that, but I like sort of this olive green. And then I went through my paper stash and I picked out some solid cardstock to go along with the kit. And so even though this is from a different manufacturer, I was able to coordinate the materials based on a similar color story. So that's where we started. We started with the papers. Then you add in your solid, whatever that may be, and then you add in any embellishments. So I have some things that I just pulled from my stash, some metal embellishments, acrylics. I've got some tags, cut aparts. I got these little cards here that you can journal on, some more cut aparts. And as I'm pulling all this stuff together, I'm looking for similar color stories. So anytime that I teach on something about coordinating items, I always talk about getting items or pairing items that have a similar color story. They don't have to match. You're just looking at things that coordinate, right? My Patreon members, we just did a class on this not too long ago, or last week, a week before? Last week, I can't remember. I host mini classes for my patrons twice a month. And so we talked a lot about that relative to the design concepts that we were learning. Okay, I got some labels and some acrylic pieces, or not acrylic, these are epoxy. Some bows, again, they're all similar color story. Some chipboard. I have been carrying this little chipboard sheet around from October afternoon for I don't know how long. I need to use it. Wood veneer and some puffy shapes and all kinds of things that I've just pulled out of my stash that I could potentially use to make multiple layouts. I pulled out some sticker fonts. That might be another thing you want to add to your kit as well, to make titles and such. I actually pulled 2 sticker fonts from my stash today. And then, of course, some more stickers and whatnot. Also, this is a great opportunity to pull in those half-used packages of embellishments, stickers, whatever you have, and see if you can use them up as you're working through your kit. Now, the cool thing about this, for those of you who go to retreats and events and stuff, a lot of us aren't going to those things right now for obvious reasons. But when we do start, going to retreats and things again, you can put together all of these wonderful kits using the things that you have in your stash, breaking down those paper pads, and then you can have your kits ready. Even if you're not going to an event, you can just have them ready and maybe have them sorted or something in a box or a container by your craft desk. So when you sit down to craft, you can just pull out a kit and you're good to go. You're not going to have to think about embellishments and all that. You would have already had that worked out and you don't have to worry about it. You can just dig right in and start scrapbooking. So that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Let me go to the comment section real quick before I start working on this project. I'm actually really excited. I'm using a sketch from the Ellie Studio, from sketch to, oh goodness, it's from sketch to finish class. And I was a contributor for that class for I think 2 years. Maybe I've done it 2 or 3 times. I can't remember. And I can't show you the sketch, though, but you'll see the layout as it comes together because it is a paid class, so I can't show you the sketch. What I'm doing for this project is I am scrapbooking 2 photos of my daughter, and I decided to keep the photos 4x6 because I get a lot of questions from people, can you do projects featuring photos that are 4x6. A lot of people don't like to resize their photos, or they don't like small photos for their projects at all. And so it's nice to be able to see someone put together a layout who's just using 4x6 photos, whether they're on the vertical or the horizontal. So I have 2 photos here of my daughter. We are a homeschool family, and we do a lot of project-based work in our homeschool curriculum. And so for this particular story, she did a project which they called Ancient China. And so what her assignment was is to research information about China from a cultural perspective, social perspective, political, that type of thing. So just really fun facts and details about China. We got library books, and she did web research and all kinds of things. And it was really interdisciplinary. And she put together this entire presentation on her own. This was actually considered, I guess, a 4th grade assignment because we're doing 4th grade curriculum. And she put it together on her own. She set her own deadline. She typed out all her notes. She printed out all her photos. She found all the photos. And we do these types of assignments so that she can learn all these skills. So it's not foreign to her if she goes to college or when she goes off to work in the workplace, having to do research and pull things together. And then, of course, she presented her findings to us in a presentation. And then we went to the Dollar Tree and got a little poster board, and she set it all up and painted it. It was a whole thing. So I want to make sure that this story gets into the scrapbook page. Now, I am going to journal off camera because I can't journal on camera, and my intention was to type it up. I will probably put the journaling right here to the side, but I'm not sure. So let me look at my sketch real quick, and I'll kind of walk you through what I want to do here. So the photos are going to go right here to this side. There's going to be some pattern paper that's going to come here and a strip that will come across, and it's going to have some embellishments, and then the title is going to be right here in this section. And then there's going to be some boxes here that I'm going to have for journaling. So my plan is to type out the journaling and then cut them in boxes and then put them right here. So that's kind of cascading down with that journaling. One of the tips that I have for journaling is sometimes when you want to tell your story, you may not want to write a big long paragraph, but if you break it down into small text boxes, whether you just maybe cut a little box and hand journal, or you type it and you cut them into boxes, it's a great way to just sort of get the facts and the thoughts out, but sort of in a smaller format. It really helps you stick to the details. And then you can pop them here, there, and everywhere on your layout and just kind of have your journaling scattered about. And it's really entertaining to the eye to be able to go from one point to the other, reading the journaling and really taking in the story. I should probably do a mini class on that. All right, I'm going to go to the comments real quick. Hey, Deb, what's going on? I'm glad you caught it. Having a bad week. It's my birthday tomorrow. Oh, Deb, I hope your week gets better. Happy birthday. I hope you have a fantastic birthday. Kelly said, this will soften the blow of missing Ohio this year. Yes, I know. And I'm getting ready to send out a retreat update. I think I make decisions about my events day by day because everything is just so crazy. But you're right, it does soften the blow a little bit. Hey, Gloria, how are you? All the way from Bolivia. Can't wait for the virtual crop. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on this. So the first thing I want to do, I'm using a white background. I'm going to get my materials all sorted. Got my little tray here. Of course, I showed in the last videos that I got this little letter holder organizer deal bob so that I can organize my materials as I'm working on projects. I like to keep my space nice and clean and clear when I'm working on a project, so I found this at Tuesday morning and I thought this would be perfect to use for this purpose. So I'm going to get that all set up. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments section, and I will be looking at the comments here periodically. And let's see, I'm going to stick that there. And this is actually going to be a pretty simple layout. There's not going to be a whole lot of complicated design on this, because sometimes you just want, you know, something a little clean, something a little simple. Let's see here. Let me get my cutters going. There's not going to be a whole lot of pattern paper either. And that's cool too, right? Okay, so I think, let me get my life together here. That's the cool thing about watching the lives, right? You get this sort of behind the scenes look at your favorite creator's process. I love doing these lives for that purpose. Let's stick that here. This is usually my process. Got to get it all together. I also like to clean in between making stuff and while I'm making stuff, because at some point it gets a little bit too rowdy for me from a mess standpoint, and then I can't focus. All right, so I'm going to set that to the side. Got my sketch. Got my tonic trimmer. I think I might do a tiny bit of stamping for details. Oh, by the way, these are the font stickers that I pulled for this project. This is from Hip Kit Club from an old kit. I think it was called Summer Bliss. And then this one's an old Felicity Jane chipboard. Alpha, when she used to produce them in the longer packs. They're now in smaller packs. I'm going to put all my cut-aparts here. I might use a tag, maybe. Who knows? Got some Ellie Studio cut-aparts and whatnot, some of my favorites. Then I have a little bag of goodies that I pulled out of my stash. Let's go ahead and get those set up. I hope that you are in a spot where you can create with me. Or maybe, you know, if you're ignoring work today, you can use this time to sketch out a layout or something. And then I've got some wood veneers here. I may or may not use these, but I just want them on my tray. So I'm good to go there. Let's make a layout. What I want to do is grab some cardstock. I'm going to go ahead and layer some pattern paper and some solid cardstock behind my photos. And I hope that I have a piece. I'm trying to use my scraps. I don't remember if I showed you guys this or not. I may have, but I bought this container from Target. It's just a little file container. And I keep all my scraps, like my solid colored scraps in here, so I don't go reaching for a big piece unless I need it. I don't think I have a piece big enough for my 4x6 photos. Nope, I think I've cut into all of these. Let me double check. Oh no. There's a piece. And, ooh, is there another one? Let's see. Do I have another one? I do. All right, so I don't have to get up. Also, I'm slightly lazy, so if I can keep things right by me, then that's what I'm going to do. Reaching over for my adhesive. Looks like I might be running out here, so let me grab some of that. I have to have things near me. Okay. You can talk, babe. It's all right. Can you see it now?
Better.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
A little lighting adjustment.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's all good. We're informal around here.
That's better.
My better half came in whispering. She didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's
Thank you.
better.
I appreciate you. I will dance at your wedding, as my grandma used to say.
We didn't have dancing at our wedding.
We did not have dancing at our wedding.
No, we did not.
I owe you one.
All right.
Aubrey is my spouse, and she helps to monitor the lives while I'm working. Let's go ahead and get these photos set up. I'm going to have a nice little white border here. This white cardstock that I'm using is a little bit more cream than the cardstock I'm using for the base, but that's okay. I'm not that picky. Going to get these trimmed up nice and neat. There we go. That will go back into my little scraps. And there we go. Get that nice and mounted. I also want to add a pop of color to this, and so I'm going to add in some of the pattern paper from the kit that I made. I love working on projects with materials that I curate out of my stash. I feel just so productive. Patricia, I'll tell her you said hi. I feel so productive and like, you know, I'm really getting a lot of utility out of the things that I buy. Okay, there we go. Let's set that to the side for just a second. Oops, sorry about that. Oh, okay, I'm going to set this right here for now. Okay, so let me look at my pattern paper choices here. I've got a lot of the papers that have already been cut up. I think what I want, I kind of like the orange, but I don't know if I like the orange with the red. You know what? I might have to, because I've used this pattern paper up pretty much. Let's see if there's another one. How about we do, every time I'm working, I always say to myself, I think I need a bigger desk. I think I need a bigger desk. Anybody else think that? Like, I think I need a bigger space. I don't need a bigger space. I just moved into a bigger space. I don't need a bigger space. Deb says, hey, Bree, great job. Appreciate your hard work. Bree says, I'm not here. You are here. We see you. Stephanie says, I love that you're preparing Corinne for college by teaching her to do research. Great life skill, one that comes in handy in the work too. That's right. Absolutely. That's exactly why we do it. Bree and I both have experience. Well, Bree's a full-time educator, but having experience working with young students, and it's interesting how there seems to sometimes be a gap with those research skills and being able to analyze data and that type of thing. So we want Corinne to be equipped with that skill as she gets older and goes into either college or goes to work, and or both. Okay, so I'm going to use this pattern paper that came out of the kit. Notice it has this typewriter embellishment, which I'm probably not going to use. And I'm just going to work around that, right? You're going to make the papers and your embellishments work for you, right? Not the other way around. So don't be afraid to dissect and trim and cut things apart and whatnot. That's what the creative process is all about. All right, so that's a little bit more color there. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this blue and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to mount the photo with a little bit of blue. I just want kind of that double matte to provide a little bit more color. So let me put this away. My little scrap papers. Let's move the orange out of the way. I could also do yellow too to make that pop. I think I'm going to do yellow. That makes me happy. We're going to do what makes us happy, right? Absolutely. Okay, with that ended there. Let's try something else. Jessica says, I don't think I need a bigger desk. I may need to go up vertically. It's just never really exactly what we want, right? I think as our needs change, our space needs change as well, you know? I never thought that I would have an entire space just for making stuff. I didn't at the time think I needed it. I had a little basket of my things and that was good enough for me. My, how times have changed for some of us. Okay, so I'm going to get that backed with the, uh-oh. I moved that too quickly. I was a little bit too excited. Okay. So I like that double matte. There are just some like traditional scrapbooking techniques that I just never walk away from, and the double matte is one of them. Okay, so now that I have that going, what I want to do is, according to the sketch I'm using, which I can't show you guys, but according to the sketch I'm using, there is a piece of paper that will come underneath the photo, but I want to make sure that that piece of paper that comes underneath the photo doesn't have too much pattern, because I'm going to layer some things on top of that piece of pattern paper. So if that's not going to work for me, I can also look in my other kits, which I'm kind of having a look right now to see if there's something else that might work. I think I'm looking for a neutral. This again came out of the same kit, so I'm good to use this. And I think I might use that as well. See, the cool thing about this is once you get these kits made up, you can go in and borrow things from the other parts of the kit that you made, right? No problem. Again, because the idea is to use up these materials, right? Put them on a layout, get them on a project. Okay, so we've got that. Now, let me see here, because I need to make sure that I have enough space for all of my elements. I'm also thinking, as I'm working through this, I'm going to look through one more of these. This one, I think, did I cut? Yep, I cut into that. I'm just looking for some more options. I'm thinking I might want to back the base of the layout. I'm feeling that that needs it. So I'm looking through my other kits for a paper option for that. So let's see. I don't want to use orange. Let's see what I got. I might actually, if I hadn't cut into it already, I have another one of these. And I bet I can trim this so that the olive is showing around the border. Okay? So, let me find my other paper cutter here. Here it is. It's right in front of me. If it was a snake, it would have bit me. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off just a bit of this white cardstock here. And I don't want to trim off too much of it because I'm trying to avoid showing that typewriter that's on that pattern paper. I just am using it to have a olive border around my layout. I need a little bit of a grounding for this white cardstock so that it doesn't seem so stark. Okay. Let's see how that'll do for us. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfecto. I just needed that little bit of grounding there. Let's bring the photos in. Photos are going to go right here. By the way, this is my first project of the day. And sometimes the first project isn't always my best project, to be honest with you. Okay, I'm going to layer these like this because my initial thought was I was going to make this photo smaller, but I want to keep them 4x6. So since I can already see her poster, what I was really interested in is being able to see her as she is actually talking to us. So I'm going to stick this right here. Then I want to trim up this gray because that's going to come out underneath here. Another pattern paper. I'm going to move this over just a little bit. And that's going to be my base. So I'm just going to do a block of this gray. So let's see. Let me grab a pencil. And I'm just going to measure this out so it can be roughly the width of my photos. And get my cutter. There we go. All right, let's get that trimmed out. Then I'm going to stick this over here. And because all these papers came out of the same paper pad, I can mix and match them, you know, from the kits that I already have set up. Right? It's pretty fun. And that's exactly what I did. Okay, so here we go. So this will go, come on little photo, right underneath here. So that's going to serve sort of as an anchor piece. It's already bringing attention to the photos on the layout. And I chose the neutral because that way when I layer other things on here, those elements won't just kind of fall into the page, right? Okay. So I'm liking that so far. Next up, let's go ahead and commit because we have no commitment issues around here, do we? We're just going to glue some stuff down and keep it moving. I am not going to gut the olive, Deb, because I probably won't use it. I'm kind of over the olive. I'm just going to... Also, too, the olive is thin, and the paper that I'm using for the background is about 80 pound weight, and so it's kind of flimsy. So it's kind of supporting itself. If I was using thicker cardstock, I would gut the middle. That's a good question. That's usually the determining factor. If I'm using heavy cardstock, like 110 weight cardstock, I'll gut the middle. But for this layout, because the papers are so thin, I'm just going to layer them together to add a little bit more of a foundation. Okay. Now I'm short, so I'm going to have to stand up. You'll probably get to see my pajama bottoms. I'm business on the top and party on the bottom. That's how I roll these days in COVID world. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get this as even around on each side as possible. Don't be like me. Don't put adhesive all the way on the back of your layout when you're making adjustments. If you just put a little bit down, then when you actually go to place the paper down, you're not committing to it sticking so badly and then having to pull it up. Okay, that's not perfect, but it's going to have to work. It'll work. Okay, moving on. So now I'm going to go ahead and put my photos down. I do need to add just a tiny bit more adhesive here at the top, because that's just kind of puckering up. Just a teeny bit. Oops, wrong way. There we go. Add it where I need it. Flip this around. Yeah, that's just going to have to work. I can't be bothered with that. Okay, so next up, let's go ahead and get the photos committed to the layout. That's going to go right here. I want to add this pattern paper. The paper in this particular kit is really thin. Oh, goodness. Come on, photos. I'm just going to stick this right here. Try to get that as straight as I can. This photo is going to go right here. And this one right there. But you know what we're going to do with this one, right? If you already guessed it, you've been around for a while. I'm going to pop this up using a little bit of fun foam, because that's how I roll. Or actually not fun foam. I'm using a roll adhesive from Scrapbook.com. They have a full line of adhesives, exclusive adhesives. And I like this roll adhesive. I normally use it for card making, but I've been using it a lot more for scrapbooking lately. The fun foam is more economical, to be honest with you, but I try to use what I have. What's usually available to me. Deborah says, my kids go to schools that use project-based learning. They're much better prepared. I agree. I love the yellow. Such a happy color. Helen, I do too. Cool. Let me take these backings off. Okay, let's go ahead and get this photo down. Just sort of offsetting that a little bit, and then I'm kind of slightly tilting it in just to give it a little bit more interest. Okay, so now we've got the photo, the background all set up. We're going to come in and do some embellishing and add the title. On the sketch, what is called for, and I might alter this a little bit, there's a bit of a band of paper or something that comes out this way with some embellishments that are laid over it. And I think for that, let's see, I'm going to do, maybe use two different patterns and make a banner from those patterns. So let's see what we can do with that. I don't always follow sketches exactly. Because, you know, why? When you can mix it up a little bit. I thought about putting this tag here, but it's a little bit too big. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to trim this down. Let's say maybe roughly an inch-ish, something like that. I don't measure. I just kind of guesstimate. I guesstimate a lot. I think that, okay. You'll see where I'm going with this here in just a second. Then I'm going to take this stripe pattern paper. I'm going to see if this will fit in far enough. Let's see. Ah, it does. This trimmer is only so big, so it doesn't really work on 12 by 12 paper. Although I think I might want this. Let me trim just a teeny bit. That paper pad that I use has perforated tops, which I hate that because it's hard to trim them unless you have a good precision trimmer. Okay, so I think I wanted that just a little bit longer. I'd rather go longer than shorter because you can always take off. And my thought process was that I would, I don't know if this is going to go above or below. This might have to go below the photo versus above, because part of the title is going to go above too. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my smaller scissors. Now I have these strips cut, and I'm just going to cut a banner. So I'm going to cut in the middle, and then I'm going to cut here to the side, to the center of where I originally cut in the middle. Then I'm going to cut the other side to make a simple banner. There's other ways that you can do this, but this is the way that I prefer. Okay, so there's that. I'm doing the same with the orange. I'm just going to use a tiny bit of orange. I don't want to use too much. There we go. Okay, and what I want to do, I really love these colors. This is not a color palette that I use often. Is I want to layer these banners on top of each other like this. Something like that. Okay? And I think what I might do is trim a tiny bit of this off. So the length kind of varies a little bit with it. Okay, I think I might do that. I really wish my sewing machine was working because this would be a great time to do some stitching. And she's not working, unfortunately. She is out of commission. But I do have a stamp set that I pulled that I'm going to use here in just a second that'll give me that stitch look that I'm going for, or that I want. Okay, so I think I'm happy with that. I want to look at my papers one more time just to make sure that's what I want before I 100% commit to it. Yep, I hate those perforated tops. Drives me nuts. Hey, Andy, what's going on? Finally able to watch. Awesome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. I'm looking to see if there's anything else. So I thought I might find something with a little bit of blue, but I guess not. I think I'm okay. All right, Vicki, let's not be too picky. Let's do it. So I'm going to put these banners together as one unit. Whoops. Just like this, like so. Now, I want to do some stamping. Now, if you don't sew, and you're like me, and maybe have a, what do you call it, a sewing machine that's a bit out of commission, what you probably want to do is have a stitch stamp set in your arsenal. This is one by Bo Bunny, and I think they still make and sell this, but it's called the Stitches stamp. It has these little flourishes here, but you also have little tiny singular stitches and some buttons. You can do some cute layering there. But notice here it has all of these stitched designs right here. Pretty cool, right? I love the stamp set. I found this at Tuesday Morning, but I also discovered that I think it's still sold, I think. But you can fake it till you make it and get yourself a stitch stamp. It doesn't have to be this one in particular, but I'm sure you can find one out there. And then it has all these different stitch designs on it. So you can just stamp your stitching on your layout and call it a day. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on a piece of scratch paper, and I'm going to create just a little stitch here in the center and then maybe one down here using my stamp. I'm going to do the simple stitch one, little line of stitching. And I'm going to get that mounted on my acrylic block. I'm using some Catherine Puller ink, dye-based ink. I love Catherine Puller ink. I talk about it a lot. Great inks, great pigments, just wonderful, wonderful ink. They are translucent. Great price, great value. So I'm just going to ink up my little stamp here. And then I'm just going to put my little faux stitch right where I think I need it, which is going to be right here in the middle. And it's going to give that subtle stitch detail. So if someone looks at it, they'll be like, oh, cool, she sewed on her layout. I didn't sew on my layout, I just used the stitch. I used a stamp to fake the stitching. Okay, this may be too light to see, but I'm going to hold it up. And I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but I just want a little bit of that stitch detail to show up there. Okay, so that element's done. I made my own scrapbook element using pattern paper. Cut it as a banner, used a stamp. That's how easy that is, folks. Alrighty, so if I put this here, now I have this fun banner element. I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that on. If you are low on stash or you don't want to spend a whole lot of money on products, this is a way that you can stretch like your pattern paper, your stamps, cutting or creating your own banners and whatnot. This is how you do it. Okay. Before I go any further, I need to make a title. And one of my sticker fonts drops. Hold on just a second and grab that. So there we go. I like the way that that looks. That's super cute. I'm going to adhere these down. I could have mounted those on some foam to give them a little bit of height, but I'm going to add some embellishing here in just a second. If you guys are liking this, give it a thumbs up. Love to see that. Melissa says there is a stitch stamp by Technique Tuesday as well, if you guys have heard of that. Let's see. True story, I have not ordered stamps in years and years, but after seeing the tab one that you used on the other day, along with the die cut from Ellie's Studio, I ran over to her site and ordered them both. That's awesome! I'm excited to be motivated to scrap again. Oh, thank you. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Yes, Barb, you're going to have to add that stamp or some type of stitch stamp to your collection. Most definitely. Most definitely. Okay, let me get myself set up here again. So we've got the background. We've got this one element here. And notice that I've just worked with pattern paper right now. I haven't even brought in any other element. I'm going to get some mileage out of these things using items from my stash. Okay, so now that that's done, of course I'm type A, I have to clean up, so you guys know how that is. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and address the title. So the title is going to be Ancient China. I know, creative, right? And I thought, according to the sketch, part of the title goes up here. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to keep the title there because I really think that there needs to be some embellishments here. So I thought about putting it right down here because there is space for it. I'm using some fonts from Hip Kit Club. These I've had in my stash for a while. They're from an older kit. There we go. Here's that. Get these out. Ooh, do I have? Oh yeah, I have plenty of these. Let's do an N. And let's do a T. Using the stash. Let's get that going. We got that there. And these might move. I'm just trying to lay them down gently on the page. Okay, then I have this Felicity Jane, just to add a little bit more color, and I hope I have all the letters that I need. So I have a C and an H. Mixing up the letter fonts for the title is going to add a lot of interest to the layout, all right? And you use up your letters because we're always buying more. If you're like me, then you're probably always buying more. Good evening from Germany. Good evening. Yay! Enjoy, you guys. Okay, so I think I made a good decision to move the title here. So let's go ahead and commit. Let me see if I can get this lined up. Howdy. Corinne says hello. You want to come over here?
Sure.
Come over here for a second. We've got our creative coordinator. You're going to have to come down here with mommy so they can see you. You'll come up here in just a second. Here's my little bug. Mwah. You want to say? You don't want me to embarrass you? I know, I'm a smother. Say hello to everybody.
Hi, guys.
I hope they can see you. Yeah, they can see you.
Yay.
Cool. Yay. So Corinne, we had to change her title. She was intern.
Yes. Now I am creative coordinator.
Now she's creative coordinator.
I think I can do badge.
Okay. She's going to be preparing to Zoom with her friend, her new buddy that she met. One says, hi, Corinne.
I'm gonna get lunch, cause
Go for it.
well, I eat the most lunch now because you guys don't eat breakfast.
Well, true. You do. See you later, kiddo.
Forced Maddie to eat earlier.
Maddie and I have been busy, haven't we?
Yes.
She's getting on to me because I don't eat very much these days.
Yes, at least, I know you're busy, but at least make time to eat something in
I-
the morning.
I promise I will do better.
Sure.
I'm getting scolded by my kid
Yes, you are.
for not eating. Mom needs to eat. So Corinne, we had her title for the business was intern, and she is. Maybe I'll put this up here after all. She is now our creative coordinator. So there we go.
I just don't know what that means.
You do a whole bunch of creative things for us.
Cool beans.
Cool beans.
It's a catchphrase now.
There you go.
Won't last very long, but I like it.
See you later, kiddo.
Bye, Mother.
Bye, daughter. All right, getting this layout down. I always tell my kids you can't spell smother without mother. That's so true. Patricia, about time she's upgraded. You got that right. She thought the same too. For those of you guys who have been around for a while, you've seen our little creative coordinator just grow and grow and grow. She is nearly as tall as I am. That's not saying much because I'm very short. I'm only 5'1". Okay, so now, oh no, come on H. Come on little H. Let's pop up little H, there we go. Woo, that's a sticky situation. I think I'm gonna go ahead and move this down here on a different line. There we go. Okay, liking the way that looks. I hope I spelled that right. I'm a horrible speller. Horrible speller. Okay, if not, we'll change that. Spell check on layouts, right? Am I right? Does the raise come with a promotion? She gets unlimited scrapbooking supplies via her fabulous mother. She's got her own desk now, and she's got her own supplies, so there we go. That was the raise. And teaching her a little bit about the business side of what mommy does. So she'll have a little bit more of an idea of what mommy does. Okay, let's go ahead and set a space for journaling. I think what I want to do is I have this pattern paper. So notice I haven't even gotten to the embellishments yet. We're just still doing pattern paper here. This pattern paper that came out of the kit has these labels, and the sketch that I'm using has the journaling on this side, and I thought it would be pretty cool to have a couple of these labels here, or more, there on the side. So I'm going to cut these real quickly. I think I'm going to use a yellow one. Yeah, let's see if I can get that cut without it looking cray. Let me get this. So when I talked about breaking down the paper pads, one of the things that I recommended was look for opportunities to create your own embellishments, to create items where you can use to kind of amplify your journaling, all those things, and get as much utility out of your papers, your pattern papers, as you possibly can. So that's what we're going to do. I could, of course, leave it in a block like that, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do something a little bit different. Alrighty, so I'm going to go ahead and get this trimmed up. Let's cut that out using some scissors and see how this will go. There we go. And it has lines on it, which is great because I don't write in a straight line. I can't do this to save my life. So lines are helpful. And I'm getting some utility out of this pattern paper. I could cut up all of these labels and have them ready to go for different projects. I think we'll do, let's do this one that's trimmed in gray, purple. Is that gray or purple? There is a gray one on here. Because I have gray here, I think I want to have a little bit of gray up here, and I have a label with the gray trim, so I'm going to use that. Sometimes colors look quite similar for some of these things, so I was able to suss that out. Then I think we'll do a little bit of an orange here. Just small orange accent. All right, going to cut that out. I haven't even reached for my embellishments yet. I've just been working with pattern paper, right? Why not? I love these type of projects. It forces you to be creative with what you have. Okay, so I think I'll stick that here and here. And then, did I have an orange? Yeah, I did. Then I think I have an orangey one here. There we go. While I'm doing this, by the way, I just want to say thank you all for your support. The Victoria Marie YouTube channel reached 10,000 subscribers today. So I'm very excited about that. So that would not be possible without all of you joining me here on YouTube, watching the content. I know some of you have been around with me ever since I started, which actually has been 6 years. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you for getting me to 10,000. It's been a long time coming for sure. I've been hustling and getting there. The slow growth has taught me a lot over the years, and there wouldn't be a Victoria Marie Designs if there wasn't you guys. So thank you so much for your support. I'm gonna definitely celebrate 10,000 subscribers. That just means we got more folks in the Victoria Marie community, and that's always awesome, right? Always awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. Lots of things going on around here, so I'm very proud of that accomplishment. Thank you guys. Okay, I think I need to do a giveaway. I should probably do a giveaway for that to celebrate 10,000. Yeah, we're going to do a giveaway. Look for that to come. We're going to do a giveaway. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but we're going to do it. I'd been tracking that number, and then it kind of fell off my radar a little bit. And then when I saw that I hit it today, I surprised myself. So, it was actually my goal to hit 10,000 by the end of the year, but I already did it. So now I got to reset my goal, right? But we'll do a giveaway. We'll do something fun to celebrate. We'll do that sooner than later, for sure. Let's see. Maybe I'll do a giveaway of some of my favorite products. Like those Tailored Expressions blender brushes. Maybe I'll do a giveaway for that. I'll do that in the next Victoria Marie Scrappy Chat, which I actually have scheduled to film today. So there we go. Okay, so I'm thinking I want to make sure I have enough of these labels so that I have plenty of room to write. Because you know how it is, when you start journaling, you may have more to say than what you planned. So I'd rather have more labels ready to go. So when I do add the journaling, which when I add the journaling, I'll take a picture and post this so you guys can see. I did actually finish the last project that I did last week too. I forgot to post that. I need to do that too. It's been crazy town around here lately. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Aubrey says they can have Corinne. She's very expensive. Corinne does have expensive taste. Unfortunately, she has it honest because her mothers have expensive taste too. For sure. Thank you guys so much. We're going to definitely celebrate 10,000 for sure. That's a big milestone. I know, as I say in my masterclass, I have a YouTube masterclass. I haven't run a session as of past. I think it was the last session I ran was last fall, I think. But what I tell my masterclass students is that sometimes that growth is very slow and sometimes it's very fast. But either way, growth is growth, and I will take it because that means there's more people that we are bringing into the fold. Oh, Bree, Deborah says, wait till she's 14. Hey, Mandy, what's going on? Barbara likes the way the labels look. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so I've got the labels cut out, and I'm glad that I added 5. I was only going to do 3, but it kind of fills in that white space a little bit. I think I want some of them to be layered on top of the photo and some underneath the photo. And that might require a little bit of foam there as well. What I will probably do is type up my journaling instead of handwriting, because that's just kind of where I'm at these days with scrapbooking. I can't seem to handwrite as fast as I think. So typing is the way to go. So I think what I'll do is I'll type out the journaling and I'll print them out in journaling strips or little blocks that I'll try to size in like a text box in Microsoft Word. I don't use anything fancy like Photoshop. I use Microsoft Word, baby. Or PowerPoint. Make a text box, you type in your text and you print it out, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to type the text and I'm going to print it on vellum, and then I will adhere them to my labels. All right, so I'm liking the way that looks. So let's go ahead and grab, I'm going to need some foam. Where's my little box at? Here we go. My little box of foam. Let's go ahead and get this done. Now, I need to make sure that I'm off here at a reasonable time because Corinne has her Zoom session, a Zoom slumber party with her friend, and they go from 4:30 to 12 midnight, and they make projects together, and they also schedule in breaks for dinner and snacks. So you got to get creative during COVID. Karen says she loves the layout. Thank you so much, Karen. I appreciate that. No, we don't want any 25-year-olds, 26-year-olds, or 14-year-olds. Sorry, we're gonna pass. Hard pass on that. At the parent auction, the kid auction. We're gonna auction them off, right? Okay. This, I think I'm gonna trim just a little bit of that off. I'm gonna stick this right here. So some of these will be popped up just to give it a little bit of dimension and some height here. A little bit of interest. Using some little foam squares to do so. And I'm leaving just enough space for details. This isn't a huge, long, dragged out story, but I just want to make sure that I add the important details to this project. I'm going to trim this off just a teeny bit. Now, as I'm doing this, lately I have been really interested in working on some holiday-themed layouts, and it's usually around this time of year that I'm ready for holiday stuff. It came a little bit sooner than expected, maybe because of everything that's going on, but I'm definitely interested in scrapbooking holiday stuff, for sure. Which, come to think of it, I'm behind 2 years of my December daily projects. I don't know if anybody else is behind. I might have to bring back December Daily for Slackers. Does anybody remember that series, December Daily for the Slackers, that I hosted? It's been at least 3 years ago, I think. Something like that. Maybe longer. So December Daily for Slackers was a series that I had where I challenged folks to get their unfinished December Daily projects done. Or Christmas projects done. It doesn't have to be December Daily. I might have to bring that back. Okay. Etanine says, I have a December Daily that's looking at me bragging to be done, or begging to be done. Yeah, I feel ya. I feel ya. Okay, let's go ahead and get some embellishments on here. So I have these epoxy stickers. I also have some different shapes and stuff. So the idea, at least based on the sketch, is to do some embellishing that's going to come right across here. And that's where the embellishing is at least positioned and located on the sketch. And I think I might switch it up just a teeny tiny bit, but we'll see. Let me bring over my embellishment tray. We're almost done with this project, actually. I hope you've been inspired to get in your supplies, break apart those kits, right? Because honestly, guys, if we're not using the product, it's just sitting in our stash, right? So we might as well just use it. Okay, trying to see, where do I want to go with this? Well, I definitely want to start the embellishing here. So I'm going to look for an anchor piece. And you guys have heard me talk about this time and time again. Your anchor piece is where you're going to start for your embellishing. And sometimes it is your larger embellishment. It doesn't always have to be, but sometimes it is. Thought about using a star. That's a little bit smaller in scale than what I thought I wanted. Let me come back here. I like the idea of these little epoxy circles. And I like the idea of this, uh-oh, it's not coming out? There we go. Of these little numbers. So I think I might stick these here. There's a circular element on the sketch, and I think that's where I want this to go. No, not stick that down. That's gonna stick if I do that. Okay, so I really like the look of that, and these embellishments coordinate well with the colors that are presented in the pattern paper, so that's awesome. Again, it doesn't have to match, it just has to coordinate, right? It doesn't have to be perfectly the same color, the same design, we're just coordinating it. And that lends to that interest, so like that. Caroline says she's so beyond Slacker. Do we need another series that's like Slacker Plus? Karen says, I thought being behind was the norm. It is, right? Hey, Francis, what's going on? Bring it back. I'm 2 years behind as well. Yeah, I think we're going to have to bring it back for sure. It seems that time has no meaning during the pandemic. So it could be March or it could be December. Who knows? You're absolutely right. We don't know. We're just kind of waking up and living day by day, aren't we? Who even knows? I've worked in my planner for the first time in weeks this past weekend, and I feel like I've gotten things together enough where I don't feel panicky when I start the week, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I feel like I got things together, but man, it's really tough. It can be really tough trying to keep track of the days, for sure. I feel there needs to be a little something here. I just don't know what that is. I'm kind of eyeballing these little dots here, as well as these little leatherette hearts. I feel like I use hearts a lot. I don't know if I want to use hearts or not to accent that. thought about doing something like that. I don't know if that'll work overall, but I thought about it. See, it's only either going to be on one side or the other. I can't have it alternating. No, I don't like that. I might like these just on the 3. Kind of like they've been adhered with a little pin, like a little push pin or something. So there's that little accent. Why not? Use that up. That resolves my need to want to use a heart. Let's look at these little chipboardy piece situation here. I kind of like that. Okay, I can get down with that. Almost done with this, guys, by the way. Almost done. I need a little tiny bit of foam. I don't need like a big foam piece, just a little teeny tiny one. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's gonna go right here. And that's a little bit brighter of a green than what I was looking for, but it's not so bright where it doesn't work. You know what I mean? We're going to make it work because, you know, again, these things don't have to match. We're just trying to coordinate. So let me take the foam off of that. Look at me using one of these little embellishment thingies. Oh, that goes over here. Like the 3 labels? Yeah, me too. Carrie says, I didn't want to be all the way caught up. I always want something to scrap. That's a good point. That's a good point. I know there's some people who they have to be caught up on their scrapbooking and they're consistently caught up on their scrapbooking. And then there's some people who are like, well, if I'm caught up all the time, then what am I going to scrapbook? I guess the idea is that we're constantly in sort of storytelling mode, right? That there's always going to be something to scrapbook, you know? But I also think there's also going to be projects that we don't finish. Yeah, I like it on the 3 labels too, for sure. Roxanne says, you have taught me to focus on the story as opposed to chronological. It takes the pressure off. Oh, absolutely. I used to be a chronological scrapper, so I feel you. But yes, if you focus on, make it story-based, no matter when it happened, because we just want to document the stories, period, right? Yeah, absolutely. Gemma says, me too. I will never be caught up. Okay. Yay, I'm glad that I used that die cut. I was a little on the fence about that, but I'm glad that I used it. Okay, so now, let's see what else we've got. We're almost up to the finish line with this one, folks. Maybe I will use a little bitty heart because this is begging for something to go there. So let's go back here, add a little bit of cohesiveness, right? Because I did it here, I might want to do it here and repeat that element. There we go. That's not too shabby. I like that. Maybe I'll do some, no. Maybe I'll do another piece there somewhere. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Okay, so I'm liking the way that this is looking. And let's see here. I kind of feel this needs some direction. Like an arrow. I'm kind of liking that. Yeah? Yes. Yes, honey, yes. I'm always looking for an opportunity for a tab because y'all know how I roll. I don't know if a tab's going to actually make it on this layout or not. No. Nope. Just thinking out loud. I feel something needs to go here. Let's see, what do I have? I have the sticker that says so good. Will that work? What if we layered that on there? Yeah, why not? This is from Ellie Studio. They're everyday tiny label stickers. And let me see, is there anything else that I want to add to this layout? Let me check my sketch. I think I want to add a little doodly-doo. That's a technical term around these parts. A doodly-doo. But what would that doodly do be? Let's see. Because I have some black here in the title, I thought I'd add some black here at the top somewhere. And I have a circular element here, so maybe we add a circular element here. Is this going to be that element? Well, folks, we are going to see if that's going to work for us or not. Maybe. So, let's see here. What else can I add to that? You're probably thinking, add another goal, Victoria. You might be right. On the sketch, it has a little bitty sequence of elements here. Okay. And let's see what else I have. Just trying to use what I have available to me. Almost done. It's always the last little bits. Let's see. Kelly says, I was about to freak out. I was trying to decide what I would scrap. Helen says, I panicked today, thinking I was nearly caught up and realized I have 4 big holiday vacation albums to do and relaxed again. There you go. Oh, goodness. I think the consensus is that we're all trying to get caught up, or maybe we'll never get caught up. How old are the October afternoon chipboard stickers? I like them. Oh, goodness. These are... Let me see if there's a date on these. These have to be, at least if anybody's familiar with these Daily Flash Bubble Talk Flash chips, 7 or 8 years old? Maybe? I got these a long time ago. And October Afternoon doesn't make scrapbooking products anymore, sadly. So if you know, post it in the comment section. These have been, yeah, it's been a few years ago. Yeah, for sure. I'm sad they went out. Hey, welcome! First time here. What's going on? I'm glad you're loving it. We just chill, we chat, and we hang out. Some of us are working. Some of us are hanging out. So yeah, these, to answer your question, it's been a while. They don't manufacture products anymore, but it's been a while since these have come out. For sure. I know there's some people maybe on Etsy that sell some October Afternoon things. You'd have to dig around. You might have to do that. Maybe some of their stash that they're trying to load off. Okay, so now I'm trying to figure out how I want to finish up. There's a little bit of white space in the photos, and I thought I would find something to address that, but I'm not seeing anything close by. Oh, I do have these Freckle Fawn little doodly-doos. It's a sticker that says this. Maybe I'll move this down. That seems super far up. I'm just going to tuck that behind the journaling. And then I'm going to do the little heart. And then I'm going to do the little circle. Just kind of little bits bouncing around up there. Just to add some interest. And drawing the eye to the journaling. Okay. This feels like reminiscent of how I used to scrapbook. I used to use a lot of dark colors, and I use a lot of light colors now. Okay. So I'm going to consult my sketch here. I think there's a little bit more white space on the sketch, but that's okay. I made this a 12 by 12 with 2 photos. The sketch calls for 1 photo. And by the way, if you're joining me, I'm using a sketch from a class that I was a contributor to. I can't show you the sketch because it's for the students in the class, but this is what the layout roughly looks like based on the sketch. Okay, so I'm digging around what I have available to me, and I think I am done with this. I feel like I want to add something else, but I'm also at that point now, guys, where if I add something, then I might hate it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the journaling and then see how I feel about it. And then if there's anything else that I want to add, then I will do so. So there we go. So to recap, for those of you who are just joining, as I'm talking this through, I'm also thinking if there's anything else I want to add. And I don't think so. Of course, I might change my mind once, you know, this live stream is over. And that does happen. Oh, I have to add the date, right? I have to add the date, which I will do. So, for those of you who just joined or haven't been on very long, I talked about how I have sort of this ongoing series that I call From Paper Pad to Kit, where we take a paper pad, any size, you deconstruct it, take all your papers out, and from the papers, you coordinate them all together to make kits. And you can make one-page kits, you can make multi-page kits, whatever you want to. So this was the paper pad that I used. From that, I created about 5 or 6 kits, and so right now I'm creating projects using those kits, and I'm trying to use the items that I pulled, not only the papers, but the embellishments. So this is probably layout number, how many layouts have I done so far? Probably 5 or 6 that I've done so far with these kits, I think. So we'll see. Okay. Love the labels. Me too. The labels are awesome. Labels are awesome. Let's see. Let's see. There we go. There was somebody who wrote something in the comments that was not appropriate. I had to kick them out. Okay. Like the way it looks. Do you ever print your journaling directly on 12 by 12? Teresa, that's a good question. Yes, I do. However, I got rid of my large format printer. Well, I didn't get rid of it. It just stopped working. I had a Canon large format printer, and so it would allow me to print on 12 by 12. I am currently looking for a new printer that I can print 12 by 12. So yes, I will go and create a page like a Microsoft Word, and I'll resize it to 12 by 12, add my journaling, and then print it using the large format printer. If you don't have a large format printer and you want that typed on look, then I recommend either printing on the same color paper that you use for your background or print on vellum, and it gives you that nice sort of typed on look without it actually being typed on if you don't have a large format printer. So that's really good. Good question. Looks good, everybody. We think it looks good. Awesome. Hey, Stephanie. Just bought a new planner for July to next June. I'm keeping notes, taking pics, and we'll be adding pics and decor once weekly. That's a really good idea. Doing a memory planner. Hey, Beatrice, what's going on, girl? Okay, so I like this layout, and I think what I want to do is, before I add anything else to this, I'm going to have to think about what I want to add, but if I add anything else to this, I'm going to do so after I add the journaling, because somehow the layout just seems to come together when you put words on there, at least in my opinion. Okay? Okay, so this is my favorite type of thing to do, using my stash. Majority of the things on this layout, using the pattern paper to create these elements. If you look at the layout, you probably would have never guessed that these labels were from pattern paper unless you saw me cut them out and put them on there. Thanks, Felicia. Appreciate that. Hey, Ursula, what's going on? And so anyway, so you would have never known that this was from pattern paper. I just cut them out and used them as an embellishment. So you want to look for opportunities where you can do that with your pattern paper. And the cool thing about the paper packs is that they're now starting, well, it's been a while now, but if you notice, it's not just solid papers anymore. For a lot of the manufacturers, they're putting in the pocket cards and things that you can fussy cut and add. So that's a lot of way to get some mileage out of your paper pads. And also, you can, if you're on a scrappy budget or you just don't want to have a lot of stuff in your stash, then you can look for opportunities in your paper pads to create embellishments, right, and kind of stretch that a little bit. Here, I just kind of made my own banner embellishment using some of the remaining pattern paper. Of course, we have the gray that I needed a neutral to work, so my elements popped off the page. Grabbed some font stickers from my stash, so everything, of course, that I used here is from my stash. Using slowly using my October afternoon daily flash chips. Slowly over the past 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know. It's been a while. Some epoxy, so adding in just some different texture. We got this chipboard, the puffy, and then the epoxy, using some labels. All of these things from my stash, all from the paper pad, and I don't have the other layouts around that I made. I'll have to do like a kind of a layout parade of the layouts that I made using these kits, so you can see how they all kind of look different, but they all come from the same paper pad, right? So you can get some differentiation as well, just using one paper pad. Really loving the series. I had the same pad you're using for years. Cool. So happy to finally deconstruct it. Yes, absolutely. Take it apart. You don't have to keep it together. I have that paper. I'm going to cut the labels out tonight. Cool. While watching Hamilton. Yes, Deborah.
It's in my head again.
I know. We might have to watch Corinne's back in. We might have to watch Hamilton again, right?
Howdy. Apparently, I have something called a GFI, and I'm constantly Grandma's right to order from QVC.
Oh, yes. So, yeah, Hamilton might be on our watch list tonight, too, for like the 5th or 6th time. Watched it. Yes to the layout parade. We're going to have to definitely do that. Love the staggered labels. Great photo. Really liked how you met at them. Thank you so much. Love the ideas. Awesome. Loving your channel. Thank you for the inspiration. Awesome. Thank you, Christine. I appreciate that support. Thank you so much. So you got some ideas on what you can do, hopefully to spark some inspiration for you guys as you are working on projects this weekend or going into the week. If you have any questions about this layout or anything I've talked about, please go ahead and post them. I'll hang out for just a few more minutes. While I'm hanging out, what I will do, as I mentioned, I'll go ahead and add the journaling. And for those of you who are just joining me, my plan for the journaling is to type it out in strips and then adhere them to the labels. I could have like taken that sheet of labels if I wanted to. Where'd it go? It's somewhere in my little stack of stuff that's now has disappeared. I could take that little sheet of paper that has the labels printed on it and I could run it through, say, a typewriter. That's another option if you like doing that type of thing. And then I could have typed the journaling directly on the label. I don't do that very well. So I like to type mine on my computer and print them out. I'll print it out on vellum so it looks like that I typed them directly on the label. So fake it till you make it, right? And of course, for those of you who like using 4x6 photos, I chose not to resize the photos smaller. I tend to do that if I'm using 2 or more photos on a layout. I just like a little bit more white space. So I'll tend to resize my photos either 4x4, 3x3, or 3x4 and use them on a layout. But for this layout, I kept them at 4x6 because I do recognize a lot of you do not resize your photos. And so it's good to see somebody working on a layout that's using 4x6 photos. So there we go. Really, really like how this came out. So I will make sure to post this so you guys can see it on my socials. There's another layout that I need to add some journaling to. I got to post that project too from last week. Quick reminders, we do this every Friday. So if you are new to the Victoria Marie YouTube channel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm glad you enjoyed today's live and that you were inspired to make something beautiful today or this week. I will be sharing, I usually will share my finished projects on my socials. All of those links are posted down in the description box. I mentioned at the top of the live session that I'm going to be hosting the first ever Victoria Marie virtual crop. I will have a private Facebook group that's set up specifically for that, and it'll be hosted through that Facebook group. More details, information, and to register will be posted on the Victoria Marie blog next Tuesday, the 21st. Isn't the 20? I think next Tuesday is the 21st, I believe. Right? You should know, Miss Coordinator. Yes, it's the 21st. So make sure, if you haven't already, subscribe to the Victoria Marie blog. That link is down in the description box. We're going to have a lot of fun. There's going to be challenges and prizes, challenges all throughout the weekend. It's $8, and that just kind of offsets some of the operational costs to run the virtual retreat. And you'll have access to that private Facebook group for a limited time, but you'll be able to have access until September 1st. And of course, there's going to be prizes and lots of things that you can participate in that weekend. So I hope you guys will join me for that virtual crop. More details on the Victoria Marie blog, link down in the description. That'll do it for this live every Friday, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, same bat channel here on the Victoria Marie YouTube channel. If you weren't able to participate in the entirety of this live, don't worry, because YouTube is going to actually repost this here in probably the next hour or so. So you'll be able to come back and rewatch it if you want to. And there's also a playlist. So if you want to go back and watch previous lives, I think this is maybe the third live that we've done. We moved it from the Facebook group to the YouTube channel. So you can go back and watch previous lives and all those good things. Let me check the comments real quick. Thank you for sharing inspiration, Victoria. Oh, you are so welcome. I hope you guys are ready to have a wonderful, scrappy weekend, right? Really enjoyed it. My first time with you, and I enjoyed the crafting alongside with you. Oh, fantastic. Made a page of me and my dad. That's so fun. Love that. Let's see. Thinking the date should go on the little arrow. You know what? That might actually work. I might have to do that. Q page, thanks so much. Thanks for hosting these each week. Gives me something to look forward to. Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate that. That's exactly why I did it. I started doing weekly lives when the pandemic started, when we all start staying at home, and as a way for us to sort of connect and have something to look forward to. I was hosting them a couple times a week, and then I went down to one time a week, and now it's just a standard thing. Thanks, guys. Plan to be at the virtual crop. Excited. Awesome. Absolutely. My pleasure, Teresa. Thank you. Thank you so much. So look out for that information. Subscribe to the blog. Subscribe to the newsletter as well, because there's a lot of information that comes out through the newsletter. So make sure that you do that. Alrighty? Okay, folks, I will see you next Friday. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you back here always Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, and, of course, on all my socials all week long. See you later. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That was cool.
Mm-hmm.